Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gauranita, Gauranita Jaya, Gauranita. Jayo Jagannatha, Jayo Baladeva, Subhadramai Jaya, Sudarshana. Jai 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 Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. We will be reading from Prayers by Queen Kunti, first chapter, first canto, 8th chapter, text number 32. I'll combine English and little Hindi also because 2 more classes. पहले स्कंद का 8वां अध्याय है, श्लोक नंबर 32 32. Devotees can ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय केचिद् आहुरजं जातम् पुण्यश्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदो प्रियस्यान्वये मलस्येव चन्दनम् केचिद् आहुरजं जातम् पुण्यश्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदो प्रियस्यान्ववाये मलस्येव चन्दनम् केचिदाहुरजं जातम् पुण्यश्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदो प्रियस्यान्ववाये मलयस्येव चन्दनम्. Mataji. Mataji. Kechid, someone, Ahu says, Ajam, the unborn, Jatam, being born, Punya Shlokasya, of the great pious king, Kirtaye, for glorifying, Yado, of King Yadu, Priyasya, of the deer, Anbabaye, in the family of Malayasya, Malaya hills, Eva, as Chandanam, sandalwood. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings. Others say that is born to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malay hills. Purport. Because the Lord's appearance in the material world is bewildering, there are different opinions about the birth of the unborn. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he takes birth in the material world although he is the Lord of all creations. He is unborn. So there cannot be any denial of the birth of the unborn because he himself establishes the truth. But still, there are different opinions as to why he takes his birth. It is described in the Bhagavad Gita. He appears by internal potency to re-establish the principle of religion, protect the pious, annihilate the impious. That is the mission for the appearance of the unborn. Still, it is said the Lord is there to glorify the pious King Yudhishthir. Lord Krishna certainly wanted to establish the kingdom of the Pandavas for the good of all in the world. When there is a pious king ruling over the world, people are happy. When the ruler is impious, the people are unhappy. In the age of Kali, in most cases, the rulers are impious. Citizens are also continuously unhappy. But in case of democracy, the impious citizens themselves elect their representative, rule over them, and therefore they cannot blame anyone for their unhappiness. Maharaj Nal was also celebrated as a great pious king, but he had no connection with Lord Krishna. So Maharaj Yudhishthira is meant here to be glorified by Lord Krishna. The Lord had already glorified King Yadu, having taken birth in his family. Although he is known as Yadava, Yadu Veer, Yadu Nandan, he is always independent of such obligation. He is just like the sandalwood that grows in Malay hills. Trees can grow anywhere and everywhere. Yet because sandalwood trees grow mostly in the area of Malay hills, the name sandalwood and the Malay hills are interrelated. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Lord is ever unborn, like the sun. He appears in the sun as the sun rises in the eastern horizon. And as the sun is never the son of the eastern horizon, so the Lord is no one's son, but he is the father of everything that we. Just summarize in Hindi, दो तीन लाइन में. यहाँ पे भगवान कुंती महारानी प्रार्थना कर रही हैं. भगवान अजन्मा होकर भी जन्म लेते हैं यदु महाराज को प्रसन्न करने के लिए. उदाहरण दिया गया चंदन का. चंदन जैसे मलय पर्वत में प्रकट होते हैं. प्रभुपाद बताते हैं भगवान के आने के अलग अलग कारण हैं, लेकिन मुख्य कारण बताया धर्म का स्थापना करने के लिए और पापियों का नाश करने के लिए. ऐसे ही कृष्ण धरती पर आते हैं पांडवों के राज को स्थापना करने के लिए और असुरों का अंत करने के लिए. हालांकि कृष्ण तो भगवान है, लेकिन यदुवंश में प्रकट होते हैं, इसलिए उनका नाम यादव यदुवीर हो जाता है. और जैसे चंदन का बताया गया, चंदन कहीं भी प्रकट हो सकता है, लेकिन मलय पर्वत में होने से इसको मलय चंदन बोलते हैं. ऐसे ही सूर्य पूर्व दिशा से आता है, पूर्व दिशा सूर्य आ रहा है, लेकिन सूर्य कहीं से भी प्रकट हो सकता है. लेकिन सूर्य पूर्व दिशा से प्रकट होता है, कई बार तो पूर्व दिशा से जोड़ा जाता है कि वास्तव में सूरज किसी का नहीं हो, सब दिशाओं. ऐसे कृष्ण सबके हैं. वो किसी के वास्तव में पुत्र नहीं है, लेकिन सबके पिता हैं. फिर भी लगता है कि यशोदा नंदन है और नंदन है. ओम ज्ञान तिमिरंधस्य ज्ञानांजन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुताः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण दलिता श्री विशाखान्वितं नमः. ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Very, very grateful to all of you for giving me this opportunity to serve the devotees. What pleases Krishna is when devotees come together to chant his holy name, dance in kirtan, hear about Krishna, and take prasad. This is a very simple description of our society. Like one devotee was saying, Prabhupada, we have so many activities in our ISKCON society. And Prabhupada smiled and said, all we do is chanting, dancing, and feasting. Everything is related to that. And whenever we discuss some philosophy like today, that is also for the purpose of intensifying our love for Krishna. By understanding to whatever degree possible, because nobody can understand Krishna fully. He is agochara. He cannot be known by anybody. But to the degree possible, one should try to understand the tattva of Krishna for self-purification. हमें भगवान को थोड़ा समझने का प्रयास करना चाहिए, लेकिन वास्तव में हम समझ नहीं सकते. We can understand only the degree we are surrendered to Krishna. Like Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya mam abhijanat yavanaschashmi tattva. I can be known as I am only by pure devotion, bhakti. Otherwise, for the non-devotees, is bewildering. अब भक्तों के लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता समझना कि कृष्ण भगवान है, अजन्मा है, फिर यहाँ बोले यशोदा नंदन. कृष्ण unborn, is he born? If he is unborn, then how is यशोदा नंदन? और फिर यशोदा नंदन है तो फिर अजन्मा कैसे? कृष्ण सबसे छोटे हैं या सबसे बड़े हैं? सबसे छोटे भी हैं, कण कण के अंदर है, इज विद इन एवरी पार्टिकल. और वामन देव के रूप में आते भगवान बड़ा रूप दिखाते हैं. भगवान के साइज क्या होगा? नेक्स्ट टाइम आप चप्पल लेने जाओगे तो वामन साइज चप्पल मांगना. वन स्टेप ही कवर्ड एवरीथिंग. पूरा साउथ बेंगलोर, नॉर्थ बेंगलोर, मैसूर, कर्नाटक, इंडिया, पूरा वर्ल्ड, जस्ट वन स्टेप. हरे कृष्ण. What was the size of his step? Next step, heavenly planets. And the same Krishna with Vamanadev, he is now in the womb of Devaki. देव के गर्भ में कैसे है? भगवान के शरीर के अंदर देवकी भी है. देवकी घर में भगवान कैसे आ सकते? बॉक्स में मैंने एक रिंग रखा है, रिंग के अंदर बॉक्स नहीं हो सकता. If the box is in, the ring is in the box cannot be inside the ring. Krishna is within the universe, or the universe within Krishna. What is correct? What is correct? Krishna is within the universe. Krishna ब्रह्मांड के अंदर है, ये ब्रह्मांड कृष्ण के अंदर. Both are correct. कृष्ण सबसे छोटे हैं कि सबसे बड़े हैं? Is it smallest or the biggest? Both. He is very easily approachable or very difficult to approach. Is there prasad today or not? Both. One good thing is that here they serve breakfast, so that devotees are not too much in anxiety. And a very intelligent planning is that breakfast is served before Darshanarti, so that those who want breakfast, they will come for Mangalarti. Management is very intelligent here. They are taking care of the material and spiritual needs simultaneously. ऐसा होना चाहिए, बुद्धि लगाना चाहिए कि जैसे सबको स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्रेस भी हो, बॉडी की नेसेसिटीज भी पूरी. तो कृष्ण का तत्व जो अगोचर है, इट इज रियली बिविल्डरिंग, बिकॉज फॉर द कॉमन पर्सन he wants to know everything by intelligence. हर व्यक्ति बुद्धि से जानना चाहता. But intelligence is material. The Lord is beyond material. is source of all material and spiritual. Krishna says in the Gita, aham adir hi devanam. मैं सब चीजों का स्रोत हूँ. महर्षिम च सर्वेश. Maharishi, Saptarishi, demigods, 33 million demigods. They are all subordinate to Krishna. Everything is happening by his desire. सब कुछ कृष्ण की इच्छा से हो रहा है. 2 days back we were discussing in class in the other temple how Mad Bhayat. What is that verse in Lord Kapil Shiksha? Mad Bhayat. What is that? Vata. The air is blowing because of fear of me. The sun is rising because of fear of me. सूर्योदय हो रहा है मेरे डर के कारण. अभी सूरज कभी लेट नहीं होता. हम लोग कभी मंगल आरती के लेट हो जाते हैं, दर्शन आरती लेट होते हैं, बट कभी सूर्योदय लेट नहीं होता. नहीं कभी देखा सूरज लेट हो गया ट्रैफिक जाम में था. Who is controlling all this? The fear the Lord has ordered. Suryadev 5:45 you must be awake, must be ready. Surya cannot say last late night ho gaya tha, sorry I am late, and I was taking gulab jamun last night. कल था गुलाब जामुन फाइनली सबको मिला एक एक. हाँ you got two, huh? Good. But many may have not come. कितने devotees कल रात को थे प्रोग्राम में? How many were not there? So you missed the gulab jamun. But this is just an impetus for you that not only should come on Sunday, should come on Saturday also. If Sunday को गुलाब जामुन बांटा तो फिर Saturday कोई नहीं आएगा. So something extra on Saturday, so that to increase attendance. So all these Vedic literatures they do the same tricks. Vedic शास्त्र में लिखा होता है गंगा स्नान करोगे अधिक मास में ज्यादा लाभ मिलेगा. चलिए गंगा मास कैन बी डन एनी टाइम, बट अधिक मास बोलने से क्या होता है कि लोग अट्रैक्ट होते चलो एक समय तो जाएंगे. जैसे मोबाइल में है सेम मोबाइल अवेलेबल एवरी टाइम, बट दे विल से पुट 5% डिस्काउंट. प्राइस को 10% बढ़ा के 5% डिस्काउंट. Everybody will buy it and then realize later the price has gone down afterwards. Just a trick. So in the Acharya also trick. Temple management also they trick devotees to come little early. By keeping this very good idea, and I will suggest in all temples that breakfast to be before darshana. Maybe we can start breakfast before Mangal Aarti. We'll have 50 devotees. Because after all, the material nourishment, somehow or other devotees will always get. Because that nobody will miss. Suppose you cannot come to temple, late bhi aaye. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई रह जाएगा. There's so many arrangements are there. And in temples, in homes, there's so many try prasadis. But spiritual nourishment is very rare. And there is a wonderful thing about this temple that every time I come here, I see more and more people coming for morning classes. बहुत ज़्यादा devotees. कल तो हमने try किया यहाँ पे कि भागवतम के बाद breakfast के बाद we had a japa session. Almost 35 devotees chanted. Other places I try 5-10 devotees join. But SDM में वहाँ भी try किया, वहाँ भी 35 devotees. It's good transcendental competition. ये competition अच्छा है कि यहाँ पे ज़्यादा devotees हैं. Loving competition. So even today also after class there is prasad at 10:30. After prasad, those who are free they can chant more. I'm thinking I'm supposed to go to SDM, but I'm thinking I'll just stay here and chant with all of you. Because ultimately all lectures are meant for teaching how to chant. And you have understood the essence. सार तत्व जैसे गुलाब जामुन सॉफ्ट होता है, गुलाब जामुन पिंक या रेडिश कलर होता है, गुलाब जामुन बड़ा होता है. कल बड़ा था ना, बड़ा होता है. लेकिन how will you know what is gulab jamun ultimately? By tasting. You got or not last night? No? Which is my assistant. So when I take in the evening, that time also he gets. In the night again he gets. In Pune temple, we have some devotees take prasad 2 times a day, and some take 3 times a day, and some take 5 times a day. You can change your parties. So the way to get taste for gulab jamun is not by just technical analysis. Analysis will lead to paralysis. बहुत ज्यादा एनालाइज करेंगे, गुलाब जामुन सॉफ्ट है, गुलाब जामुन सॉफ्ट है, गुलाब जामुन पिंक, गुलाब जामुन राउंड है, गुलाब जामुन semi circle. I mean, finally, when you eat the gulab jamun, holy name is sweet like. Rupa Goswami, what does Rupa Goswami say? Rupa Goswami क्या बोलते हैं हरि नाम के बारे में? What is that verse? Anybody knows that verse? Tunde Tandavani. What is that? Prabhuji is our. Speak louder. You have mic. A very beautiful verse from the Padyavali. Tribo is sweeter than my entire lecture. So beautiful, the devotion. The translation is that Rupa Goswami is saying, I do not know how much nectar there is in the two syllables. What are the two syllables? Krishna. Look like some people have not taken breakfast. Please chant loudly. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Name Krishna is so sweet, sweeter than honey. And when I chant these names, I desire to have millions of tongues. हजारों जीवा, लाखों जीवा. Same thing, just like gulab jamun is there. Sometimes we think I should have many mouths. Like Lord Brahma comes, you will have to give 4 gulab jamuns, minimum. So devotees, sound is not clear. They are liking the lecture so much, so they desire 2 sound systems. The temple is not only doing theoretical but practical. So you can hear from all sides. Hare Krishna. Now it's better, sound is better. The devotee, especially Rupa Goswami is saying, I do not know how much nectar there is, 2 syllables. Similarly, you find in Maharashtra, Tukaram Maharaj. Yesterday I was discussing about Saint Tukaram. Tukaram Maharaj se bolte hain, God tuja naav, God tuja roop. Anybody heard this? Tukaram Maharaj, these abhangas, they are so sweet. Lord's name is sweet. Lord's form is sweet. And then I desire millions of years because I chant and then I hear. So when you're doing japa, important to chant and hear. Like Prabhupada would sometimes say, devotees would not attend lectures, we would encourage, come here, sit here and hear. And just yahan par aao, suno. The wonderful temple is going to manifest very soon. What is the purpose of this temple? Same. Devotees can come together and hear the message of Bhagavata, message of Lord Chaitanya. Pray very soon. I think I heard maybe in 2-3 months. 2-3 months more. The July. We pray to Lord that this becomes a glorious festival attended by many ISKCON leaders. But what is the purpose? Same as what we are doing now. But now we are doing small scale, then we can do in big scale. Hearing, chant. Like ultimately, what is the purpose of any hospital? Hospital ka purpose kya hai? If the patient should come and they should get cured. Patient should get cured. So the hospital is very nice, but if the patient doesn't get cured, then it's not. So this ISKCON temples are like hospitals. The medicine is the holy. And how we know whether we are getting cured or not? How much taste we are developing for that holy name. Bhakti Vinod Thakur gives a very beautiful analysis in his book called Harinam Chintamani. He says the benefits, he's quoting from one Puran, that The benefit of chanting the holy name cannot be compared to any of the ritualistic activities. भगवान के नाम की तुलना किसी रीति रिवाज से नहीं कर सकते. Like giving donation, like taking bath in a holy rivers, or like performing so many ashwamedha yagyas, बहुत सारे यज्ञ करना, पूजा करना, इससे कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं. The benefit you get by distributing 1 lakh, by giving charity, 1 lakh brahmanas, हर एक 1 लाख ब्राह्मणों को charity दे रहे. What is the charity you are giving? Cows decorated with gold. Can you imagine how much? 1 lakh cows and each decorated with gold. How much gold will that? The cost will go into billions. But the benefit you get by such wonderful charity cannot be compared to the benefit by chanting Hare Krishna. Benefit by chanting Hare Krishna is 1,000,000 times. The result you get by going to all the holy places in Bharat Parish, in the Brahmanda, Naimisharanya, Ayodhya, Tirupati, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, Melkote. The same benefit you can get just by sitting in ICC temple and chanting Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Everything. Of course, if possible, we should go to holy places also whenever possible. But coming to the temple means we are coming to all the holy places. And chanting in front of the deities, especially, is very potent. The Rupa Goswami is saying like this, that I do not know how much nectar there is. I wish I had millions of tongues, millions of ears. And the name, when it enters my heart, it conquers my heart and my senses become inert. हृदय में नाम प्रवेश करते मुझे जीत लेते. Why we do not feel like that? हमें ऐसा लगता नहीं. What the 50 devotees were chanting for Mangala. How many of you felt like that? That I should have millions of tongues, and we feel little attention by Krishna's mercy, but we are not feeling that much like what Rupa Goswami. हमें Rupa Goswami तरह feel नहीं हो रहा. Why we are not feeling like this? Anybody would like to enlighten? Anirudh Prabhu, you are one of our leaders here. Huh? Servant leader, yes. That is the best leadership. Yes. Yes. Prabhuji, all of you heard that we have not yet developed that taste. वो रुचि नहीं जागृत. नाम रुचि. Like we have got jaundice. Jaundice person, he cannot relish sugar cane juice. गन्ने का रस भी उतना मीठा नहीं लगता. The medicine is to take the juice anyway. That's one thing good about bhakti. That sadhya, sadhan, they are non-different. Sadhya is holy name and sadhan is also holy name. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम हरि नाम जप करते हैं बाद में हरि नाम बंद करते हैं. Like Prabhupada was asked, how to develop taste for the holy name? भगवान के नाम में रुचि कैसे जाएगी? Nityam Prabhu said we have not developed taste. So now the next question is how to develop that taste. Yes, I would like to hear from different devotees. Now Mataji is one of the Matajis can speak by chanting more. Very good. Are you doing that every day? Chanting more? Just try to chant. Very good point. This was actually one of Prabhupada gave different answers. One of the answers was what Mataji said. Prabhupada ने पूछा कि chanting में taste कैसे आएगा? How to get taste? Prabhupada said, how does one become a drunkard? Any of you has realized Jnana and Vijnana? Yes. Anybody will? I'm sure you have not drunk, but still no point. I mean, no harm in explaining. Yes. How does you become a drunkard? Huh? By associating with? No, we are talking about drinking. You are tricked. I know you are pure in heart and in character. Mataji, correct the thing. But Prabhupada, we'll go step by step. Mataji has been directed to the highest point. I'm going step by step. Prabhupada answered it step by step. Prabhupada said, by associating with drunkards, you become drunk. If any of you have associated, please don't raise your hand. It may affect your initiation. But Prabhupada said we should not see past background. Yes. Like, पीछे क्या किया वो नहीं देखना चाहिए. You know the story of naked Pencho? भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर एक छोटी स्टोरी बताते हैं. एक छोटा बच्चा नंगा घूमता था. You know this story? It's not your story, no? Small child, he would just wander around without clothes. He grew up, but he became very brilliant student. अच्छा विद्यार्थी. He got top marks in 10th standard, the topper. But his neighbors were envious. Said, who is this? Oh, that naked Pencho. It's a big deal. क्या बड़ी बात है? तो नंगा घूमता था. Then he became a lawyer. He did LLB. LLB? Who is that? अरे वही ना? अरे नंगा घूमता था वही. Then finally he became a high court lawyer. Who is that? Arey, we know what kind of lawyer he is. We used to see him in his Balya Lila. And finally he became a high court judge. High judge, it takes 2 decades of practice to become a judge. Became a judge. So, oh, he may not be getting any salary. We should not see the past. Of course, here in India, that problem is not there. Most of you are all coming from very pious background. But in other countries. So, past background is not important. Devotee has taken shelter of the faith. Aho bacha pachato gariyan yajivhagra vartate nama. Even if somebody is born in a family of dog eaters, कोई ऐसे परिवार से जब शपच परिवार, वो व्यक्ति भी अगर हरि नाम ले रहे, he is the best, he is higher than a brahmana. एक ब्राह्मण है जो हमेशा मंत्र तंत्र सब जानते हैं लेकिन हरि नाम नहीं ले, और एक बहुत शूद्र परिवार से, but he is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. That devotee who is even born in a Shudra family, he is fit to purify the whole world. पूरी दुनिया को उद्धार कर सकते हरि नाम. Each one of you is actually blessed by Prabhupada's mercy. All those who have come to this movement, whether new or old, young or old, young or old, whether they come recently or very senior, the brahmachari or grahastha, Prabhuji or Mataji, every devotee is so special. You have some connection with Prabhupada. Prabhupada से connection मिल गया. Like somehow you are connected to a bank account which has got unlimited balance. आपके पास capacity, you can just withdraw unlimited. I don't think any bank is like that. Punjab National Bank, there is facility where you can withdraw unlimited. There may be so many yes bank or no bank or ICIC or UC, SBI, but they have limitation. You can withdraw as much as you have. You can't withdraw more. But by connecting with Prabhupada, you are connected to a bank of holy names, unlimited holy names. And the more you withdraw, the more the balance increases. Amazing bank. नहीं? जितना ज्यादा आप विड्रॉ करते हो, जितना ज्यादा आप लेके दूसरों को बांटते हो, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम. The more you give to others, the more you get benefited. That is why this Prabhupada wanted temples like this, which are flourishing with preaching. The emphasis in this temple is preaching. But here Narhari Prabhu and his team is putting so much effort to develop this center. So उद्देश्य क्या है? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रचार. Not for personal comfort. So is concerned that other people, more and more newcomers, students, young, old people come and take shelter. This was the plan of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu introduced the idea of Nama Hatta, preaching. That preaching in every town and village. He was ordered by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda, I am a renunciate. we also become renunciate, then how will we reach many people? मैं सन्यासी हूँ, आप भी सन्यासी बन गए, तो preaching कैसे बढ़े? I want you to get married. Nityananda Prabhu agreed. Nityananda Prabhu was avadhuta from the birth. He was traveling with sannyasi. No question of material desires. He is Balaram. But he is always subservient to the will of the God. That is our aim in life, to always be subservient to the will of God as represented by Prabhupada and the devotees. हमेशा ये भाव में रहना, मैं सेवक हूँ, मैं सेवकों का सेवक. Prabhupada एक बार बोल, Prabhupada said, I never asked any question to my Guru Maharaj. Only one question, how can I serve? एक ही प्रश्न, मैं क्या सेवा? When you ask this question, it answers all the other questions. ये प्रश्न में सब उत्तर है. Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was in Calcutta, and one very great person came to meet him. बड़े महान व्यक्ति भक्ति सिद्धांत से मिलने आए. His name was Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya. You've heard about him? The first founder of Banaras Hindu University, the place where I spent 5 years gathering some material. Now very nice preaching is developing there in Banaras Hindu University. Varanasi. There is one whole department of Sanskrit dedicated to Jiva Goswami in that university. So many books he has written. Whole 4 lakh verses. Jiva Goswami is a great scholar. Very few of us have read 4 lakh verses. He has composed 4 lakh verses. So Madan Mohan Malviya, he came to meet Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said, I am a little busy. ठाकुर बोले मैं थोड़ा बिजी हूँ, आप जरा जाओ थोड़ा पीछे बैकअप डीटी वर्शिप में हेल्प करो, जब बर्तन साफ करें. To engage in some service from morning till evening. So humble. And then he came back and said, thank you Guru Maharaj, I am leaving. Said, what about your questions? Said, all my questions are answered. By rendering service to the Lord and his devotees, all knowledge is revealed. Chakshudan dilo jai janme janme prabhu sai. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashi. Divya Gyan Hriday, it manifests from the heart. Our knowledge is there. They told that the balance of knowledge is there to just awaken it. So Nityananda Prabhu, he wanted that many centers should be there. And the same mood is forwarded by Srila Prabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is, on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he decided to get married. He came to Ambika Kalna. Has anybody been there, Ambika Kalna? Ambika Kalna. They're very beautiful Gaurnitai deities. You have seen those deities, Mataji? Ambika Kalna. You have seen? Very tall deities. They are worshipped by Gauridas Pandit. Deities का बहुत विचित्र कहानी. How the deities came? You know the story? Gauridas Pandit is an associate of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So one day Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda decided that we will go cross the river Ganga and go and meet our friend Gauridas Pandit. उनसे मिलने के लिए जाएंगे. और उस समय 2-wheeler 4-wheeler नहीं होता. It was just 2-wheeler, you know, 2-legger. Go walking. And they had to cross a river. River नदी पार किए, वहां पहुंचे खालना. गौरदास पंडित ने खुश हो गए. लॉर्ड चैतन्य नित्यानंद देव बहुत कम. आई एम सो फॉर्चुनेट, इतना मेरा सौभाग्य है. इतने खुश हो गए. And then he served them some prasad. For some time they stayed. And then Lord Chaitanya said, we have to go back now. हमें वापस जाना है. Gauridas said, no, you cannot go back. आप जा नहीं सकते. Why the Lord is obliged? Lord could have said, I have to go. I don't care what you want. But Lord also is so attached to his devotee. Love is reciprocal. Krishna says that my devotees, they have bound me with the rope of love. Sadhu nam hridayam mayam. Sadhu is my heart. I am in the heart of the sadhus. Sadhus do not know anything else except me. I do not know anyone else. Lord told in the story of Ambrish Maharaj. The Lord Chaitanya was thinking, how can I please my devotee? The devotee wants me to stay here, but I want to go. What did the Lord do? He wanted to go and he wanted to stay also. If anybody knows what happened? And Lord himself manifested deities immediately. He didn't go to Jaipur. He got the deity immediately. Yes, these are my deities. They are not different from me. आप मेरी मूर्ति की सेवा करो. मूर्ति में मेरे में कोई अंतर नहीं. And Gauridas Pandit is super smart. Krishna je bhaje sei bada chatu. Gauridas Pandit said, if there is no difference between you and deity, let the deity go. You can stay. Now Lord is in confusion what to do. Checkmate for that. But Lord is also very intelligent. After all, he is more intelligent than devotee. And sometimes the devotee becomes more intelligent by the mercy of the all intelligent. This is beyond your intelligence. With intelligence, we can understand that bhakti is beyond intelligence. So Lord devised a trick. He said, okay, the deities and me are same. So immediately Lord put his hand up. He became deities. And deities started running up. Hey, no, you cannot go. You cannot go. Ab nahi ja sakte. He took a stick to try to prevent the Lord from going. Now he's worshipping the deity. Beautiful, tall deities. They're almost like 5 feet high. 4 or 5 feet high. Tall deities. Gauridas Pandit deities. So one day, he had a disciple whose name was Hriday Chaitanya. He have got good knowledge of Gaur Katha. He have Gaur knowledge for GK. Not just GK which they asked who was the Prime Minister in 1885. No? But this knowledge of Gaur Katha is very important. We should all have good knowledge. Otherwise, you take another birth in Bangalore. You read Chaitanya Charitamrita thoroughly. I was in Mayapur a few months back, and this time especially they were promoting this especially was promoting Chaitanya Charitamrita distribution and reading also. The problem is that many devotees have books. How many of you have got Chaitanya Charitamrita? How many of you read daily? You read daily. One day I had got 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. I gave a gift to one devotee in Pune. I said, please. But then after 1 year, I went to their home and said, please now I have to read Madhya Lila part 1. We can have a class. Immediately took the box and opening. He said, what is this? He said, as it is. I've kept it as it is. So this should not happen here. You should read. And how many of you don't have Chaitanya Charitamrita? Today, please, we have stock narrative in our temple. Today, special price. Please, I will personally, I'm not the person who likes to sign, but I will personally pray that whoever takes today will get special mercy. And please read it. And if you have, like, whenever I get donations, if somebody gives me 10,000, I will buy 4 sets and I will keep it and give it. And you will not believe me, but Krishna gives me more and more opportunities to. If you want to give a gift to somebody, give Chaitanya Charitamrita or Bhagavata. If you give them clothes, whether nice dhoti or sometimes it will become dirty. Nice sarees, everything will deteriorate in time. You want to give somebody a birthday gift or a marriage gift, better give them Prabhupada's books. Nothing can be higher than. I mean, actually the value of these books is not in lakhs or crores also. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said that if all the books of the world are lost, that means all your engineering books, all the medical books, all this, what was your subject? Chemistry, all this chemistry, bogus, sorry. Sorry, whether you agree or not, it is truth. if it is not connected with Krishna. Because Prabhuji is a chemistry graduate, I remembered one joke with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was in America, in Los Angeles, and you heard this story? One professor came, he was the head of the department of chemistry. You heard? And Prabhupada asked him, so, you are chemistry professor, what is the definition of chemistry? Chemistry ka matlab kya hai? They were like, like professor, mostly they are confused. I was also professor for 1 year because I joined Kurukshetra temple and temple was so much in need of money. We didn't have money for food, prasad. So my authorities told that you are MTech, why don't you do a job? I was so humble, surrendered. Now I'm not so much. That time I was new devotee. I said, yes, I will. But I put the condition that I will go in saffron clothes. I used to go like. But then I used to give 2 hours lecture and 6 hours preaching. So immediately there was complaint, that this professor is, what is he preaching? I said, this is private too, because preaching is in hostel. So then he told me that you have to give notice. So I gave a resignation. And I came to Chowpatty, Dada Bhakti. It was good fortune. Anyway, so this Prabhupada asked, what is the definition of chemistry? Chemistry ki paribhasha kya hai? So then he could not answer. Prabhupada said, chemistry means to understand that all chemicals are coming from Krishna. If you understand this, you have understood everything. Biology means all living beings are part of Krishna. All commerce means all money belongs to Krishna. And management means to understand that Krishna is the actual manager. So whatever knowledge we have, our knowledge is puny, insignificant. Even the great Isaac Newton, he says that I am just standing on the ocean gathering small pebbles, whereas the whole ocean remains uncovered. How much knowledge is there? So Bhaktivinoda says all the books. It's not that he wants to throw the books. These books are useful also. As long as we are in the material world, chemistry is also a very good subject. So you have studied, it must be good. But even if for some reason they are lost, if we have Srimad Bhagavatam, we have Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have everything. Every devotee should have at least one set. Even though nowadays everything is online, you can read a mobile like now one verse. But for good health and for proper reading, it's good to read with books, with printed books. Because that way you can search a little better and it's good for the eyesight. So please, I encourage devotees, please keep, and not only keep, but read. Prabhupada said, my only regret is my disciples and grand disciples do not read my books sufficiently. Especially this center is more oriented not only towards common men, but towards educated class, cultural center, ICC. What is the highest culture? The culture of bhakti as given by Srila Prabhupada. We can understand Prabhupada's desire through his books. Every devotee should try to make a discipline that should read books regularly. How many of you are able to do this every day, reading something? How many of you feel that it's a good idea to do it? How much is a good idea? 1 hour per day or 2 hours per day? How much? What is practical? How many of you can do 2 hours per day? 1 hour per day? What is practical? 1 hour per day? How much devotees should read? 1 hour per day? Or half an hour per day? Or 5 minutes per week? I would recommend to begin with at least half an hour a day. And keep an average of 3 hours per week. How many of you feel you can, I will not say take a vow, but make an effort to regularly read 3 hours a week from today? If you cannot read 1 week, 3 hours, the next week you can do little more. And you'll be amazed. Regular reading will lead you to developing taste for holiness. Because in bhakti, everything is related. It is not that I will just read but not chant. I will only chant but not do service. With all the items of devotional service, they are connected with each. But the most important is to take shelter of them. And that's why Nityanand Prabhu, he emphasized the holiness. Coming back to the story, Gauridas Pandit had a disciple whose name was Hriday Chaitanya. And how he got the name Hriday Chaitanya is interesting. This Gauridas Pandit, he was actually Hriday Chaitanya. Once his Guru Maharaj was somewhere out, the Hriday Chaitanya organized a festival. And somehow Gauridas Pandit was little upset that without asking me, you go out for some time, you go out of the ashram. So he went out with his group of devotees. He had his own counsely group and started chanting Hare Krishna. He was chanting so nicely, like all of you do, loudly, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram. He was chanting loudly. The deities, they liked the kirtan so much, the deities jumped off the altar and they went started dancing in between the devotees. Hari Bol. And Gauridas Pandit was doing arati. Can you imagine you're doing arati and deities gone? They're looking, where are the deities? And so, oh, they're dancing with my disciple. He went with a stick and said, my Lord, what is this? Your place is here. And for some time, the Lord entered into the heart of Hriday Chaitanya. So he got the name Hriday Chaitanya. Now the same deities are there. And now the pujaris, they close the curtain every 2 minutes. Because otherwise the Lord may jump out and leave Ambika Kal and come to ICC. So pujaris have to be somewhat selfish also. And that our deities. If you go next time to Mayapur, if you go by road, there are two roads to go from Calcutta to Mayapur. One is via Shantipur. There you can have darshan of Advaita Acharya. Another route is via Ambika Kal. There you can have darshan of these four Nitai deities. Just about 1.5 kilometers off the highway. Beautiful deities. And there is the place of the marriage of Lord Nityananda also. Lord Nityananda, he is Supreme Lord Balaram. He knows that Revati is my wife. And he knew Revati has come and Varuni has come as Janava and Vasudha. Were the two daughters of Suryadas Sarikhela. And Suryadas Sarikhela is the brother of Gauridas Pandit. So one day he just came and knocked and came inside the house of Suryadas Sarikhela. He was very happy. Nityananda has come. What do you want? The order of Lord Chaitanya, I have to get married and I want to marry your daughter, Janava. Only Nityananda can say like this. No formalities. Just, and Suryadas Sarikhela is also a liberated soul. He could understand that there is an eternal relation. So he very happily agreed to marry his daughter to Lord Nityananda. The marriage was supposed to be later. Before the marriage, just to confirm, there was a feast. And big feast was organized. And Lord Nityananda himself honored Prasad, cooked by Janava and Vasudha. And they were serving. And as Vasudha was serving Prasad, the cloth covering of her head fell like the sari. So as she was serving, two extra hands appeared and put the cloth around the head. So Nityananda understood that this is my other potency, Revati and Varun. They said, I will marry Janava, but in dowry I will accept Vasudha. Again, something which only Lord Nityananda can do. So the glorious marriage ceremony. But Lord Nityananda Prabhu did not have a flat to stay. Nowadays, people before marriage, they arrange flats. Otherwise, in Bombay, if you want to buy a flat, or even Bangalore, Bombay, just by hearing the name, the flat rates, people become flat. And I was looking for a place for my mother, and in Bombay, it's impossible. One BHK, you have to pay 1 crore rupees. 1 BHK. That's why anyway, Pune is really cheaper. So, Nityananda Prabhu did not have any place. They went to one landlord, was a Muslim person, and he was in a place near Calcutta, which is now called Kharda. He was sitting in a boat inside the Ganga. And he was just like, he was just having, actually, it was the bank. He was not in the boat, but the boat was stationary. It was on the bank. And it was a winter season, some fire was lit up. Lord Nityananda very humbly said, I'm married, I need land. So he was a Muslim, not so favorable. He was angry. He said, what? You want land? He took some ashes in his hand and he threw it. He said, this is land for like this. He threw it in the water. And by Nityananda's potency, where he threw the ashes, from their land appeared. That whole area became beautiful land. It's now known as Hardaha. Har means land and Daha means ashes. That was Nityananda Prabhu's place after marriage. He had two children. One was Ganga Devi, the other was Veerabhadra. And Veerabhadra was the incarnation of Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Ganga Devi was incarnation of Ganga Devi. Interesting story. Actually, before Shirodakshaya Vishnu, he had many children, but they died. Very strange reason. You know why they died? Because Nityananda Prabhu was staying on this side of Ganga, other side, another great associate, Abhiram Thakur, was staying. And Abhiram Thakur had such mystic power that he had one whip called Jai Mangal. And he would travel with that whip, and whoever would beat by that whip, he would get love for God. Amazing, eh? But you may question, why don't we invite Abhiram Thakur to our temple? I'll tell you why we are not inviting him. Because another feature was he would offer pranam to somebody. And if that person whom he offered pranam is not a pure devotee, he would die instantly. So now you understand. Very few people will remain for prasadam, you know. So Abhiram Thakur got the news that Lord Nityananda's wife Janava had given birth to a child. So he crossed the river to give blessings and to test the child. And offered pranam to the child. The child disappeared. And Jana was in tears. But they could not say anything because we invited him. It happened 2-3 times like this. Finally, Jana Devi told her husband, next time we will not invite Abhiram. We'll put him out of the WhatsApp group, you know, that he doesn't get our messages. The next time a child was born and nobody informed Abhiram Thakur. But one person came and said, Abhiram, do you not know your Lord? You are associate of Lord Nityananda and he is blessed with a child. Why don't you go and give your blessing? Abhiram Thakur said, but I have not been invited. Oh, you are a family member. You don't need invitation. Let us go. So he went to cross the river. Generally, they go by boat. You pay the boatman some money. But this time the boatman looked at him and said, who are you? He said, what do you mean, who are you? I want to cross it. No, we are fearful. Maybe you are Abhiram Thakur. Because Nityananda has paid us to not bring you. He said, okay, I will go by other means. He has a mystic power. He took off his turban and put it in the Ganga like a boat. And that started sailing. He just sat on it and he reached. And Nityananda Prabhu and his wife, they came off on the bank of the river and said, you can give blessings from here. Please let this child be. Do you not know who this child is? He is very special. He will not die. They went very close and offered pranam to the child, and the child lived. And that child became Veerabhadra, the incarnation of Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Ganga Devi is incarnation of Ganga. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he preached all over Bengal. It was so powerful that he would glance at somebody like suppose he comes to the temple hall here, he would glance, wherever he would glance, he would just fall to the ground unconscious, chanting Hare Krishna. They would just be dancing, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Something different from when a person like me speaks, then everybody is falling asleep, you know, because not that purity. The Lord Nityananda once came again to Navadip in the house of Hiranya Pandit, and there was a gang of dacoits who also came to Navadip. This gang of dacoits, they came to know that Lord Nityananda, his dress is his ornaments, very beautiful. He would actually travel with rings. He would have almost like in each finger one ring, gold ring. He would have a garland of a necklace. He would have earrings. And he would have like something like what you put it on the feet also. With Avadhuta. This Avadhuta means not bound by any rule. The thieves got the news. They said, Durga Mai is very merciful to us. Look like a month's quota. And the thieves also have some quota, right? You know, that what is the target? So they were planning that we will attack Nityanand Prabhu or when he's asleep and steal away all the ornaments. So they sent a spy just to see what is Lord Nityanand Prabhu doing. Nityanand Prabhu बैठे और जासूस को भेजा. And the spy found out that what is Lord Nityanand Prabhu doing? What was he doing first time? He's taking breakfast prasad. He's taking prasad. No problem, we'll just wait till he finishes. And they're waiting and waiting and waiting, and suddenly they all fell asleep. And then they got up. It was daylight. These thieves, they were very nice people. They were from Brahman family. They would not do anything bad in the daytime, only during the night time. They would steal and murder people. You know? So they did not want to do in the daytime, so they waited for a few days and again sent a spy. The spy reported, Lord Nityananda is protected by guards, tall guards, more than 8 to 10 feet high, and they had chandan on their forehead, and they were patrolling, and they were chanting, Hari, 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 Hari. Let us see who can chant longer period of time. I am with 3-4 devotees here, and you are almost 70-80. Let us see who can chant longer. Hari, 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 Hari. I spoke the last one. I am the player and the umpire also. You may think why I am wasted half a minute. But in this half minute, you spoke 30 times the name of Hari. You make this a practice, that one name of God per second. Can you imagine how many names you would chant in a day? Even if you are doing your other work, you are just chanting Hari, Hari. You are on a call, in between there is some talk, and in between time you say Hari, Hari. You are waiting for Prasad to come, say Hari, Hari. You are just lying on the floor, taking rest, but in your mind you are chanting Hari, Hari, Hari. Kirtaniya, that should be our ambition. So Lord Nityananda was protected by the guards. The thieves could not attack. One of the thieves said, actually, why we are not successful? Because we are not taken blessings of Durga Devi to do any auspicious activity like stealing, robbing, murdering. We should first take blessing of Durga Mai. So they had a nice ceremony. They offered what they offered to Durga Devi, and then they prepared themselves. This time they sharpened their swords, and then they decided this time we are not going to wait for the spy. They just started running towards Nityananda. And they were running, and they were running, and they were running. They could not understand. All of them were blinded. They fell down. Someone broke their knees. Some fell into a ditch. Some were bitten by leeches and worms. And Indradev, demigod controlling rains, he thought, they are offenders to Lord Nityananda. Let me punish rain much heavier than it did yesterday. Now, what is the proof that yesterday our japa was bona fide? Is that just after the japa in the evening there was rainfall. Yajna Sankirtana. And it's good, the weather is getting Prabhupada was very best. But grains we should avoid. If we take grains on Ekadashi, then we can go to the Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. I mean, not Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, but because of his anger, all of them became blinded. They all fell into a ditch. And Indradev decided to shower rains the size of the pillar, and there was hailstorm. In that condition, the thieves were in pain, in agony, and they turned towards Supreme Lord. Again, the same principle which today morning, yesterday we discussed. Our miseries are actually catalyst. In chemistry, you have catalyst. Catalyst, thing which, what was the branch? Organic or inorganic? Organic. I also studied it. We had in engineering, organic, inorganic. So, catalyst means a chemical or substance which makes the reaction go faster. So the miseries of this material world are catalyst in spiritual progress. That's why just before today's verse, few verses before, you must have covered this verse, right? Vipada Santu Shashwat Tatra Tatra Jagat. It's a prayer of Queen Kunti. She says, my Lord, let the calamities come upon me again and again. Because when the calamities come, I remember you again and again. And remembering you means no longer birth and we cannot pray like Kunti Maharaj. It's very advanced prayer. We can pray, my Lord, whatever calamities you are sending, let me learn to tolerate. To pray like Kunti Maharaj, you have to be like Kunti Maharaj. And let all calamities come. And one of my friend, it happened, he was in Vrindavan, and he was just praying to Lord. He was from another temple, Calcutta, and then he prayed, my Lord, some problems are there in our ashram, so please let me suffer. And it was 1 o'clock afternoon, he went to his room and suddenly he had fever. It became 102. At 3, it was 103. At 4:30, the curtain opened and he again came back and said, my Lord, I withdraw my prayers. I didn't know that we are so fast. We cannot imitate Kunti Maharani or Vasudev Datta. But certainly miseries will come. We don't have to apply for them. They come. Happiness also comes. We have to just tolerate, equal mind. So when miseries come, like these thieves, they turn towards Lord Nityananda and they prayed, oh my dear Lord Nityananda, we understand you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please deliver us. Please deliver us. First time we tried, we fell asleep. Second time, guards. Third time, we are blinded. Nityananda Sharanam Prapadyaye. Nityananda Sharanam Prapadyaye. Nityananda Sharanam Prapadyaye. Vande Nityananda Charanarabindam. This is the principle of spiritual life, to take shelter of Lord Nityananda. Sharanam Prapadyaye. Nitai Pada Kamala, Koti Chandras. Take shelter of Lord Nityananda. What does it mean to take shelter of Lord Nityananda? It means to follow his instruction. What is the instruction of Lord Nityananda? Chant the holy name. The sincere heart, with a devoted heart, the prayerful mood, the chant with a longing for attaining Krishna consciousness. भगवान का नाम लेना है पुकारते हुए भाव से. छोटा बच्चा माँ को पुकार. Mechanically, if we chant, it may take many lifetimes. We may not get love for God. Krishna prem nahi milta. But if we chant with a prayer, Krishna, please purify me. Shuddha bana. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. I do not want anything. I want to chant here. That kind of chanting will attract Krishna. Krishna is bhavagrahi. Krishna bhavna dekhte. हम chanting कर रहे हैं, हरे कृष्णा वेट कर रहे हैं. आज संडे हरे राम 7:15 ब्रेकफास्ट शुरू हो गया. हरे कृष्ण. रात 20 तक तो मिल जाएगा हरे राम हरे राम. बाद में चटनी पूरा हो जाएगा. So we are chanting, but we are meditating on. When chanting, we should think that nothing else exists in the universe except the holy name. Please repeat after me. Nama bina kichu nahi ko ar, chauda bhuvana majhe. You know who is saying these words? Nama bina kichu nahi ko ar, chauda bhuvana majhe. Who is saying these words? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Says in the entire 14 words, there is nothing but the sound of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Everything material or spiritual that you may ever desire is contained in the holy name. सब कुछ भौतिक आध्यात्मिक सब कुछ, all knowledge, all beauty, all sweetness, because the name is Krishna. Nama nami abhinna. There's no difference between the holy name. And all the thieves, they went and surrendered to Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda surprised. He says, what happened? Why are you bowing down to me? Did you see something wonderful? क्या हुआ? आप मेरे को प्रणाम क्यों कर रहे हैं? आप कौन हो? I don't know you. They said, we know that you know. You are the Supreme Lord. We have offended you. Please forgive. First time we went. First time what happened? He fell asleep. Second time, cards. Third time, blinded. You are the Supreme Lord. Now, we have offended you. हमने बहुत अपराध किया. Please give us permission to end our lives. We'll commit suicide. Nityananda Prabhu said, you have been purified. They have chanted the name. Now, you just give up your sinful activities and travel and preach the glories of the King. अभी सब बुरे कार्य छोड़ दो, तलवार वलवार सब नदी में फेंक दो और ISKCON ज्वाइन करो. They became great devotees. They were known as TDSK, Traveling Dacoit Sankirtan Party. And they would go to, especially they would go to whom? Iske paas? Huh? Dacoits and thieves. It's easy for them. You know, they know all the passwords. You know, like doctor can preach doctor easily. Engineer can preach to engineer. The thieves, they have their own jargon, their own language, their style. The story of Lord Nityananda is very heart-touching, hope-giving. Lord Nityananda is giving hope to the hopeless. Jagai and Madai were about to be punished by Lord Chaitanya. They were about to die, but Lord Nityananda gave them shelter. Who can be more merciful? So that's why we say, Nitai Pada Sada Karo. Take shelter of Lord Nityananda by chanting holy name sincerely. The degree our chanting is mixed with devotion, prayer, sincerity of heart. To that degree, Krishna will like. Chanting अगर अच्छा होता है तो भगवान खुश होंगे. ध्यान. Like gulab jamun. Yesterday I gave the example of gulab jamun, but some of you were not there. Gulab jamun is very tasty. Just by hearing, you are all smiling. So, can you imagine? Next time, Prabhuji, next time we can have Sunday gulab jamun, because now everybody is so excited. We can distribute the gulab jamun. In the morning, we'll have normal 10:30. 1 o'clock, we can have gulab jamuns for those who stay for extra japa. So, someday, we will be able to relish the holy. Now, the gulab jamuns, I was giving an example. If you cook in a hurried way, अगर गुलाब जामुन जल्दी से बनाते हैं, just fry किया, बॉल डाला और तो टेस्ट नहीं आएगा. You have to keep it immersed in the syrup. चाशनी में डाल के रखना पड़ता. Almost 10 minutes, how much time? Half an hour, at least 1 hour, and then it becomes, the more you keep, the more. Similarly, our conscience should be absorbed. Don't do chanting superficial. I'm also a victim. I'm in ISKCON for full time since 35 years. But I never took chanting so serious. I was chanting, but just to finish the rounds. This went on from, I joined in 87 to 97, 2006. 2006, I had a major heart surgery. Doctors were saying that 50% chance whether you'll survive or go to a new center. Death means new center. But by the Lord's mercy, I operated and I came back alive. Then my Guru Maharaj told me, now you should take it as a new birth and dedicate to the holy name. I was studying Prabhupada's books about the holy name. more seriously. I realized how much I had changed. But this time my visit was not, but just 1 week back I decided, but next time with the permission of the authorities, I'd like to take 2-3 day classes on how to improve chanting. How many are fully interested in attending? Maybe after Nirjala or next month or 2 months, whenever I come. Because I feel this congregation is very sincere, and just at a short notice, without any prior notice, 35 devotees joined. And if it is planned properly, I'm sure, at least 100 devotees would come. We can chant in front of the deities, or we can chant here in this hall. Wherever we chant, if those who cannot come here can chant at home. Make chanting as the prime focus of your life, because that is what will give spiritual advancement, and it will give success to you individually, and to a temple as a community, and to ISKCON as a world at large. We find all the great leaders like Sri Jayapataka Swami Maharaj always emphasizing on chanting. I remember I was fortunate to have his darshan in 2009. 2008, he had gone through a lot of health issues. 2009, he came for Pune Yatra in spite of his health. So he was always, even though 16 rounds are over, he would keep a counter. 16 rounds should be on mala, but extra rounds either on mala or counter or in the mind. Somehow we should connect. Radhanath Maharaj also always focusing on the Holy. Every lecture end, he will speak about servant of servant and chanting the Holy. Loknath Maharaj is famous for his kirtans. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he had a Vyas Puja ceremony few years back, and he said, "Don't think I'll be happy just by your kind words. If you want to please me, chant more and more." And Prabhupada, the source of all of this inspiration, he told in one of the purports that all devotees should strictly chant the holy name 24 hours. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that we don't do any service. After all, Prabhupada wanted us to serve, to do deity worship, to build temple, to preach. But first priority should be holy name. We are chanting, even if the 2 hours of chanting, even if the most important call is there, even if Prime Minister Modi is trying to reach you, you can say him, "Thoda wait karo, tere boss se baat kar rahe hain." Speaking to your boss. Because Krishna is Sarveshwar Ishwar. He's the Lord of Brahma, the Lord of Shiva. And I've seen in my own experience that those devotees who chant early in the morning, they are materially and spiritually satisfied. If you chant late, like if you begin chanting after 9 o'clock in the morning, then the chanting goes on till evening. Kirtaniya Sadahari. The 2 rounds now, 2 later, and then suddenly emergency phone comes, and the child is to be, you have to pick him up from the school to prepare something for the children, or some relatives come. But generally, morning hours 5 to 7, there are not so much disturbances. The mind is also in the mode of goodness, easy to concentrate. Of course, better to chant rather than not chanting. Maybe if we chant it. And just 1 or 2 more points about chanting is, which I heard from Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, proper senior disciples. He said that you should chant with faith, Shraddha, that Nama Nami Abhinnat. That when I'm chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna is dancing on me. Did I tell the story here in Bangalore? The story of that mother-in-law, daughter-in-law. It's my favorite story. How many of you have heard the story of mother-in-law, daughter-in-law? Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, Leela, all of you know very well. There's Mataji especially. But this is a very interesting Leela. Once, when Sadhu Maharaj was giving a lecture, he was in Bengali, and he was telling the audience, please take shelter of the name of God. Chant the name Hari, 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 Hari. And his song was, please repeat after me, Anande bolo Hari, Hari, Hari koribe bhav pari. What does this mean? With great pleasure chant. And Hari koribe bhav pari means Lord Hari will help you to cross over the ocean of birth and death. No, ocean is not easy. The other day I just took a flight from Goa to Bangalore, and part of it is on the ocean. Few minutes. It's scary. In case the pilot, because sometimes as well after a few minutes, the plane goes, it turns the direction. You don't know whether it's going up or down. Up, so down to Nitai Gaur Premanande. And now the air hostess is announcing, in case there is a land in the water, what to do. Baba, what will you do? You are 4 kilometers away from the ocean. What will your do? Anyway, we have to tolerate, because we are in the flight. So whatever provisions go on. But this provision was very nice. Anande bolo Hari, Hari, Hari koribe bhav pari. That means Lord Hari will help you cross the ocean of birth and death. After hearing this, everybody liked it and they all went back home. There were two Matajis, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. And they were on the way back. They had to cross a river. When they had come on the way, the river was just knee deep. So they crossed without any boat. While returning, the water was 20 feet high. They didn't have any boats. They didn't know how to swim. What to do? The mother-in-law was very learned, intelligent, but not faithful. She had material and spiritual knowledge, head knowledge, but no heart knowledge. Should be careful that our knowledge should not just be head knowledge. By reading and attending courses, classes, we get head knowledge. But heart knowledge is based on Shraddha, is based on Guru's mercy. Chakshudan dilo jai janme janme Prabhu se divya gyan ridhe prakashit. It is prakashit. It is not like you can just transfer on 100 GB inside, connect the link. So this Mataji, elderly lady, she did not have so much faith in what she was hearing. But the young lady was not so knowledgeable, but she had faith. So they had to cross the river. Now what to do? The young lady, she said, oh, Maharaj told in the lecture that Anande bolo Hari Hari. And you can cross the ocean. This is a small river. And she just put her hand put her feet in the water with full faith and started chanting. Hari 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 Hari. And the water immediately parted. She could walk without any disturbance. And the old lady, she was looking and then, how to cross? Her daughter-in-law said, did you not hear? Just chant Hari Hari. Just by the name of Hari, mountains will move, ocean will give way. Did you not hear? The old lady became upset. She said, I heard, I am not deaf. But what is the guarantee that it will work? Suppose it does not work and I just say Hari Hari and put my feet down, then Mari Mari, and I will die. Both Matajis, they heard the same lecture from the same source at the same time. What was the difference? Faith. Shraddha Shabda Vishwas Kahe, please say, Sudrida Nishchay, Krishna Bhakti Kaile, Sarva Karma Krita Hai. Shraddha means to understand that just by chanting the holy name, all success will be achieved. And this is the reason why our society is there. We just encourage everybody to take shelter. So in conclusion, the 2-3 points which I covered is a story of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And Lord Nityananda encouraging the dacoits to take shelter of the holy name. He told Rupa and Sanatana to take the shelter of the holy name. Whomever you meet, just tell them to chant Hare Krishna. Yare dekho tare ko Krishna. And for effective chanting, once you chant with proper pronunciation and also hear carefully and pray. Once I asked this question to Maharaj, Maharaj, what is important? Listening carefully or chanting carefully or hearing attentively? Maharaj said, all three are important. Chant with your lips, hear with your ears, and cry from the heart. Then you will get the mercy of God. Let us pray to Jagannath Bhagavan that we can develop genuine taste for the Lord, genuine taste for becoming pure devotee. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Any comments? Our dear Narhari would like to add, speak something on this subject? Any other senior Vaishnavas would like? Nitai Prabhu? Yes. Mic is there. Or this mic can be used. Huh? Hare Krishna. Technology.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have one question, Prabhu. Prabhu, most of the time we will complete the chanting of the holy name by 7 a.m. But in spite of that, sometimes our mind will be distracted here and there.
Very good question. Then most of the time we finish our chanting, but still the mind is distracted. Your question is not just your question. We are all in the same boat. How many of you feel similarly? The boat. ISKCON is united. And I myself, although chanting for more than 3 decades, there's not a day when the mind is not distracted. What to do? There are several things. Actually, this itself is a very detailed topic. It will take about an hour. But in 2 minutes, I will tell you the essence. And during my next visit, with the blessings of the devotees, I'll try to take 2-3 sessions on. There are 3 topics: distraction, and there is one, it's called Vikshepa or Udasinya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur analyzes in his book called Harinam Chintaman that this distraction is one of the anarthas. And like suppose I'm sitting here, I'm waiting for prasad, just like you are all in separation. You know, the mind will never wander. Have you heard that, Prabhuji? For eating prasad, I was disturbed, my mind was wandering. Or somebody is eating prasad, I said, Prabhuji, I'm not able to concentrate on eating. The mind will not wander that time. As soon as you put your hand in the beat bag, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, who, Hani Kani, Chapapani, all the thoughts will start. Why is it so? Because Maya Devi knows that if you chant with attention, you will be away from her clutches. Maya Devi wants you to keep in her clutches for as long as possible. Maya Devi is the one who is putting all the impediments. And that is also desire of Krishna. But again, if you take shelter of Krishna, even the mind is wandering. You pray to Krishna, to Jagannath, please help me. I am helpless. I'm trying my best. And still my mind is wandering. You try your best, then Krishna will do the rest. That's the only solution. Distraction will be there. Not only in home, in the temple also. Even in the dham also. But still we are determined that we should go on. Just go on and on. It's not important that you have big scores, but you should remain not out. You know, in cricket, there is big score like 4 and 6, and then you are out. But to remain not out, that means even though difficulties come, mind is wandering, still you go on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Does that answer your question? Distraction. Another answer which Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives is, there is 3 problems. One is Vikshepa. Prabhuji said Vikshepa means distraction. There is other Udasinta. Udasinta means indifference. And third is Alasya, laziness. For all these 3, he says the solution is to go to an advanced devotee and chant with. For us, it means to chant with Guru, chant with Prabhupada. That is most important. Result will come, but Krishna wants you to intensify your bhakti. Okay, one last question. If Mataji is having a question. Yes, Prabhuji. Somebody can pass the mic.
Thank you very much for inspiring us regarding the holy name. One thing comes to my mind, that chanting the holy names and eating gulab jamun is synonymous.
Haribol.
Yes, but ifs and buts. Gulab jamun, the moment you eat, first one feels good. There is bhoga and tyaga. How to ensure that when you chant the holy names, we are in the mood for bhoga for the holy name and not tyaga for the holy names.
Haribol. Very good question. Steadiness in Krishna consciousness is not easy to attain. This word dvanda which is said, bhoga and tyaga, that goes on. That is because of the chanchal mind. But Krishna says, yato yato nishcharati manaschanchalam asthiram. Wherever the mind wanders, bring it back to the self. One thing is very good to chant in association of devotees. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Odasinta, Jade, and all the problems can be solved. Just go with an advanced devotee and chant. And preferably chant in a place where Krishna has performed his pastimes, Leela. Then your chanting will have maximum effect. Always chant with devotees. We are not on the level that we can chant all alone like Haridas Thakur. We have to go as per our level. Does it answer your question, Prabhuji? Can you repeat the last sentence? What was it? Yes. Correct. Anybody else would like to add or ask any question? Any of the Matajis have any question? Yes, Mataji. Just 1 second, you can wait. Yes.
Very good, Guruji. Dhanwats Pranam, Guruji. Thank you very much for this inspiring session on chanting. Prabhuji, I wanted to know that with so many small children and this generation coming up in ISKCON, we often hear that don't force the children to do japa. But at the same time, as parents and hearing so much for so many years, we know that if they chant, it will be beneficial for them. So how can we strike that balance where we can inspire these children without forcing them and making them develop a negativity towards the holy?
That is place where you have to use your intelligence. We have all been blessed by intelligence. Certainly we cannot force the child. If you force, then it will be not good for his psychological condition later on. They become rebellious. But if you don't correct, that is also not. Somewhere you have to strike a balance. Either by some hook or crook. Lovingly, not forcing, not 16 rounds, but 2 rounds, 4 rounds. And gradually he will automatically want to take shelter. It's just a matter of time. We are on the right path. Just be patient. A good patient is patient. Be peaceful. Okay, we have time for questions. I think it's almost, yes, last. Yes, Prabhu. One thing very helpful for you will be Vikshepa. That when you are chanting, you can remember the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur says we should chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita. This chanting of Panchatattva mantra removes all offenses. We should not commit offenses knowingly, but unknowingly all offenses go. That is success. If we can chant pure holy name, at least without any offenses, then gradually it will come to pure. Yes, anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanwat Pranams. So often, we hear from Bhagavatam, Krishna is the cause of all causes, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So how do we know that, what is the differentiation between our karma and Krishna's plan? So we keep chanting and doing devotional service, we connect to Krishna all the time. So how can we realize the differentiation?
Difference between?
Our karma and Krishna's plan. Like,
Hare Krishna. Your karma is also part of Krishna's plan. There's nothing higher than Krishna's plan. But you have to do your duty as an act of service to God.
okay.
So in other words, we cannot say, Prabhuji, it's time for prasad. Arey, karma mein nahi hai to nahi milega. So you have to management, temple devotees have to arrange prasad. So we can't just use that as an excuse. But if the genuine case, yes, then we can pray to God. Okay, I think it's almost. What time do you take prasad? Generally 10 o'clock. I'll just have a 2 minutes of kirtan, which is just that crying out mood. Just sitting kirtan, then down we can have dancing. Shri Krish, just please try to understand why I'm doing this 2-minute exercise. Is to just that Prabhupada would say that we should chant like a child crying for mother. And during dancing, it is difficult because you are. But sitting kirtan, I always emphasize. I know it's a little late. Everybody must be hungry. But 2 minutes, just. And pray not only for yourself, pray for all your beloved ones and all those who are inimical to you and to all mankind and to all living entities. Sarve Sukhina Bhavan. When I'm chanting, you can fold your hands, please. And when you are chanting, you can raise. Shri Krishna Chaitan. After me, not Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya. Loudly, please. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Loudly, please raise your hand. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Gauranga, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Together, very Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Last time, very loudly. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hari Bol.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Shri Gauranitai.
Jayo Jagannatha, Jayo Baladeva, Subhadramai, Jai Sudarshana.
Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Subhadramai, Jaya Sudarshana.
Jai 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Let us raise our arms and chant Radharani's name. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Loud enough, the sound should reach Vrindavan. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. It has almost reached in Madhya Pradesh. Little longer. Jai, Jai.
Shri Ram.
Thank you. And I hope to see you all during Nirjala Ekadashi. Hare Krishna. After the prasadam, from 11 onwards, those who have free plane, you can chant in front of the deities for 1 hour, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.